challenge. Okay, let's start. Boom! Wow! What's up? So excited for today, and you guys are asking all the questions that people usually do at this point of the challenge. When somebody starts to ask, when does the challenge leave? It is usually a symptom of somebody trying to get a release from having to move forward. Well, I wasn't able to pull off the challenge because the time limit ended. Bullcrap! My friend, I got empathy but no sympathy. You understand? I love you guys too much to let you guys have a little release. I'm not going to release you from the pressure of it, okay? This is life-changing stuff. Let yourself feel the pressure of it. Stop gauging your ability to move forward based on when the clock ends. Just move, okay? And multiple people, yes, do this challenge multiple times because it's aggressive, and we know it's aggressive. But one funnel away is not a cute phrase. It's one funnel that makes people millions of dollars, okay? Okay, anyways, I'm excited for today, very excited for the what we're going to talk about. This challenge, okay, this challenge obviously is ending soon, okay, and the content, we do delete it, okay, we get rid of it. It's the reason we do all this stuff. It's a challenge, okay, it's part of it. You're not buying videos, you're buying a challenge, you understand? So when I see somebody who's like, well, is it going to end? Where's the content going to be afterwards? It's not going to be anywhere afterwards. Whenever we've done that in the past, people stop engaging because they're like, well, I'll just do it later. And then they let their life fade off in the distance and do, I don't know, stuff. Hey, so what we're going to talk about today, though, is we're talking about how to earn traffic. I'm sorry, we're talking about the Dream 100. My bad. Right, earn your way in, buy your way in. We're talking about the Dream 100, and specifically with the Dream 100, like, guys, Dream 100 is one of the most powerful strategies on the planet. There are 4 ways that I get traffic to my funnels. In this order. Number 1 is content. Number 2, right? Number 2 is Dream 100. Number 3 is affiliates. And number 4 is ads. In that order. It's typically how I do it. I'm not saying that's how you have to do it. That's how I do it. Okay? I do it in that order because when I do content, that never leaves the internet. It means I'm putting hooks out all over the place with call to actions back to my funnels. Right? I get evergreen traffic forever, even when I'm not spending ad money, because of content. Dream 100 is awesome because I'm creating relationships with influencers. That's what I'm going to teach you guys today. Okay. The third thing is that I do affiliates. Affiliates are nice because they have lists already, kind of like Dream 100, but they're willing to spend more money to promote usually than a Dream 100 person is. Okay. Ads. I love ads. Ads are awesome because money is faster than time. Okay, money is faster than evergreen-based time. Money is faster than organic growth. Money is faster than time. So I'm going to go spend ad money because it'll increase my speed. I can speak to more people faster than all my competition could even hope to when I'm doing this, okay? Alrighty, so Dream 100 for me, I started doing the Dream 100. The first time I ever heard it was actually in college, I wanted Russell Brunson to know who I was. He had no idea who I was. I wasn't anybody in this world at that point, okay? No one knew who I was. No one knew what I was doing. No one had, like, and so I was like, I want Russell Brunson to know who I am. Guys, this is literally how I got where I am, okay? Take some freaking notes, gotcha? All right, this is what I would do. I didn't have any money. I was already broke, okay? I had no cash. We were living on loans, guys. We were living on loans. There was nobody who knew who I was. I didn't have an email list. I had no list. Right? Like, no one knew who I was. I was complete from scratch. This is only 4 years ago. I can tell you how fast this world can change for you if you just do what we're telling you. Okay? So what I did is I was like, I want Russell Brunson to know who I am. That's it. Not out of a status thing, but I feel like proximity is power, right? I just want to, he's cool. I want to hang out with him, right? How can I get closer to Russell Brunson? And that's what I was trying to solve. And so what I did is my Dream 100 list, and I'm going to walk through really what that is in a moment, but this is what I did. I didn't know 100 people to put on the list. He's the only person I knew who was doing what I wanted to do. So I had a Dream 1 list, okay? And one of the easiest ways to keep this simple is to seriously just make a Dream 25, you know, or a Dream 10, you know? I gotta come up with 100 people, oh my gosh, right? If you can't, that's okay. Just like, anyway, understand the principle of it. So I had Russell on my Dream 100 list, and that's it. And in fact, I found my notes. Crap, I should have found that ahead of time. I found me when I wrote down my goals of when I wanted Russell to know who I was. And I wrote on there, like, in my dream, Russell knows who I am, and I'm doing projects with him. In my dream, he and I are hanging out, like, in my dream, we're taking vacations, like, and I, like, it totally happened. Oh my gosh, like, we just were on a yacht thing together. Anyway, so I wrote down, though, he was the one he was the one that I was my dream one. And I didn't have money. I had a little bit of time, but I was super busy. I was in the army. I was in college. I was married. We had kids. Like, life was busy. It was extremely busy, okay? And what I did is, like, I was like, how... I'm going to give you guys some really cool hacks to the game here, okay? The Dream 100 is a method of getting attention of big influencers. And I wanted Russell's attention. Because if an influencer can get on in front of their audience and just say the words Steven Larsen, right? A huge percentage, or a percentage of their audience, is going to go find me, and it's like massive influxes of cash. Okay? Huge influxes of cash come from a lot of Dream 100 style relationships. This light is driving me nuts. There we go. Okay, so I wanted Russell to know who I was, because, like, maybe he could go in and he could, I don't know, help me build a funnel or something. I was just following my gut on this a little bit, okay? So what I did is I messaged him directly, okay? Understanding full well that he likely wouldn't respond or even see it, okay? He's got walls around him to protect him so he can stay in his zone of genius. It's not a negative thing. I get it. It's to protect his mental sanity so he can stay doing what got him there in the first place. If he's the one answering all of his messages, right? So most of the time, big people like that, they're not going to answer their own messages, right? I really don't that much anymore either, okay? It's like, it's too many. I would spend all day answering questions, all day, and not getting anything of my own done. So... you guys see my shirts hanging up for Funnel Hacking Live. That's funny. I got to take them to the dry cleaner. I just noticed that. That's funny. So I was like, I want Russell to know who I am. How can I... Number one, what if I just reach out to them? He might actually just reach back out. Like, I don't know, let's give it a shot, you know? So I went and I wrote a message to him. And I was walking through campus in the basketball stadium, walking through to a class. And he sent out an email and he said, I'm going to be closing down my inner circle soon at 100 people. At 100 people, it's going to be closed up and no one else can join. And I knew what his inner circle was at the time, and I wanted to be in it. And I was like, I stopped right there and I sent him a message and I said, dude, you've changed my life. I know you don't know who I am. That's cool, but, like, gosh, please leave a spot open for me in Dream 100. I don't, at his inner circle at the time was 25 grand. And I was like, I don't have 25 grand, but I'm running, man. I'm going to try and make it. Okay. Just, like, so full circle, all this stuff. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. And I told him that I sent him that. In fact, I found the email a little while ago and I read it to him and he goes, dude, you know, that was an autoresponder, right? Like, there's no way I would have seen that anyways. You were responding to, like, nobody. And I was like, I know, it was the principle of it. I was just trying to, like, put good things out into the world, you know, like, so it comes back to me. And I kept trying to contact him and nothing was happening. And I understood why. It made sense, right? And I was like, I'm gonna do this though. Like, how can I make this happen? And so I kept contacting him and trying to, and after a while, like, I sent a message. He actually did respond once. And I said, hey dude, your funnels thing has really helped me a lot. Thank you so much. I built a funnel the first funnel I ever built was for a smartphone insurance company, smartphone insurance funnel. And I built it out there and I was like, dude, this is working. Thank you so much. I broke even with my costs. I now have ClickFunnels for free because our customers are paying for the account. Right, I don't have the money, but I got resourceful, and I told him the story. He's like, dude, that's awesome. Can you send me the funnel? And I was like, Russell Brunson! Oh my gosh! He responded to me! Ah! Right, and I went nuts. I was so excited. And I sent him the funnel, and I never heard anything back from him. And I was like, does he hate it? Oh my gosh, does it suck? Am I terrible? No, for shame. Why did I send it to him? Oh no, right? The emotional, like, toll was nuts on my head. And I was trying to gain a relationship with this massive influencer. And so I want to tell you guys a little bit of a trick to the game here. If you can't get a hold of a big influencer, one of the easiest ways to still gain their attention, and this is how I did it, is to become a leader amongst their following. Okay, so I was like, well, if I can't get a hold of Russell, like, how can I still provide value to that guy? Like, not money, because I don't have any, right? Not tons of time, because I don't have a lot of time. But how can I still provide value for this person so that they understand, at least just when they see my name, they'll know who I am, right? Or at least it'll ring some bells. And so what I did is I tried to become a leader amongst Russell Brunson's following. So I got heavy in the ClickFunnels Facebook group. And I would answer questions like crazy. And I would get it just for free, just for fun, okay? And so I'd be in classes. And I would be reading people's questions and typing back my responses to them, and typing back response like, well, here's how you do that, and here's how you get to know that, and like this support ticket over here. And I kind of became a pseudo support guy for not long. And it really helped. And people started saying Steven might be able to help with that, right? No one gave me permission. Okay. Stop waiting for permission. That's one of the biggest things I had to overcome personally. I kept waiting for permission to do something. Like, well, maybe I should reach out to him first. No! Just freaking do it, okay? Just do it, right? Just add value. So I started answering all these questions and helping tons of people for months. And I started becoming a leader a pseudo leader amongst his following. And his following brought me to him. Does that make sense? This is awesome, okay? I don't know if the videos catch up or if you had too much Red Bull. I'm not drinking Red Bull. Guys, I'm high on life, okay? The energy question, I get it all the time. Like, it's raw passion, man, all right? That's it. I'm not on anything. I just really love what I do, okay? And I'm a product of the product you're going through, which is why I get so aggressive with it sometimes. Because I'm like, man, I remember when I was there, if someone would just have shooken me and be like, stop being a freaking pansy and just do it, right? If someone had just said that to me, there was no other human being in my entire life that I knew what was doing what Russell was, besides Russell. Like, there was no one in my local area, no one. I was the only guy. I was extremely lonely. So if someone else would have just said that, that would have helped so much. I'm trying to be that, okay? And not have sympathy, because I don't anyways, okay? But anyway, we're just staying forward, got it? Everyone got thick skin enough to make change? All right. So what I decided to do, though, right, is become a leader amongst his following, and his following brought me to him. Okay, the second thing that I did when it's really hard to get a hold of a big influencer like that, the second thing that I did is I aligned my efforts with what I could tell Russell was launching. So when he would go out and he would launch this thing, I made sure I was the first comment, and it was always amazing. Okay, when he was his iTunes podcast, you can go there right now. It's still on iTunes. Back like the early 2015 of me writing. This dude's freaking awesome. My gosh, I've been trying these things forever, and nothing has worked until I listened to this guy, right? And it's on there, right? And so all like product reviews, every time he got on Periscope, which tells you how long ago it was, when he got on Periscope, and I was always super active in the chat. I was always super active in all of his product reviews, right? So I'm still creating noise around him, okay? And then I was creating noise inside of his following. So his following brought me to him, and then all this other noise, he started recognizing my name, and I didn't know that it was working. This is what happened. When I got to my first Funnel Hacking Live event, and I bootstrapped my way there, and I said that phrase, and we had a few comments go into support, and some of you might not know what bootstrapping is. What I mean is, like, I just kind of scraped my way there. I didn't spend any money. I just figured it out, right? In fact, I think it was from... Isn't it from ships, the term bootstrap? They would literally take their bootstrap up and like put it on cannons to like fix something. So like bootstrap it, meaning they literally take their bootstrap and just like jerry rig it. You know what I mean? I think that's where the phrase came from. Something with ships and bootstraps, and that's anyway, whatever. Squirrel. Okay. Well, I bootstrapped my way to that first Funnel Hacking Live event. Okay. And when I got there, I walked in the event. And I walked up to registration, and this is the series of events that happened and how I ended up working for him a week later. Like, this far from him, right? Yeah, this is what happened. I walked in, and I went to the registration table, and they're like, name? And I was like, Steven Larsen. And he looks up, and he goes, are you that Steven Larsen kid pulling off all that Star Wars ninja crap on our software? That's exactly what he said. It was Mark Bangeter, who's head of support right now. And I said, I don't know. He goes, you are. I want you to apply to work here. And I was like, whoa. All right. Well, I'm graduating in a week. I was building funnels for another company successfully. I was gonna go be the CMO of another company right out of college. And he's like, all right, well, just think about it, okay? Just fill out the application at least. I was like, all right. I walk into the event, and on Russell's first presentation, he's talking about one of his most recent launches that he'd done and showing screenshots of it. Guess whose face and comment was screenshotted in the product launch screenshot? It's me. He just screenshotted the page, and my face and my comment was right there. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Holy crap, you know? And I was like, no way. And I was taking notes. I took 52 pages of notes at my first funnel hacking live. So I was like, this is gold. This is way, I'm coming from my marketing degree and it's been crap, right? This is like way better. Oh my gosh. And I missed it. And someone took a screenshot, a picture, and sent it to me. They're like, dude, you were just on screen. I was like, are you serious? Well, when I met Russell face to face at the end of the event, took a picture with him. I waited in this huge line, and he did like 3 double takes. I don't know what you call that. A 6x take. Because he's like, what? And throughout the event, I was getting all these job offers because I was already a fanatic and I was helping so many of their audience. So I was applying to be a support guy. That's what I went in to go for. They know who I was because I helped them know who I was. You know what I mean? By commenting, by helping, by adding value before ever talking about, well, what's this going to pay? But anytime I have somebody who's applying to work for me and they go to money first, I'm like, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a hexa take. Yeah. Anytime somebody asks you, like, how much is this going to pay? I'm just like, here's the door. Thank you so much. Okay. I will overpay you, but if that's your focus up front, I'm not going to, right? I'm very aggressive and I need you to be a competitor. Anyway. So I just add value, just lots and lots of value. And his team, his staff, right, the COO, right, other major product creators, they all know who I was, not from me waiting for permission. All I did is add value to his audience, and I added value to him, and I added value to his purposes. I aligned with his product launches on all this stuff. I was always commenting. I was always rallying the rest of the group. I was getting lots of, and that's exactly how I did it. He was my dream one. There wasn't anybody else, okay? And when I went to go interview with him 3 days later, I walk in and he kept looking at me funny. And I was like, what is it? He goes, I think I know where I know you from. And I was like, yes! No way! Are you serious? And he goes, you're the guy I screenshotted and put on my slides of Funnel Hacking Live. And I was like, yeah, baby! Wow! Right? And I've been doing tons of stuff. And he's like, this is so cool. That's amazing. I was like, dude, you were my dream one of my dream 100. I don't know who else to put on it. And he goes, you're kidding. I said, no. And we talked for an hour and a half at a very aggressive speed until finally his assistant was like, all right, he's got other things that he's got to get done today. And 20 minutes after just getting in my car to drive back home, they called and said, do you want to be his funnel builder? And I was like, no freaking way. You're going to pay me to do that? What I'm trying to tell you guys is, like, with the Dream 100, what kills the goose every time is when you sit back and, number one, like, I'm not trying to be rude. I have a stack of Dream 100 packages on my desk right there that I've never really looked at. It's not that they just sent one. It's that they think Dream 100 is package sending. Okay, that's part of it, right? We're going to send things to him. We're going to just be friends with him. Okay, but it's not about just sending crap to an individual. I have, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gotten 10. People send me a lot of stuff. It's very nice of them, and I appreciate it a lot, but I think that's what Dream 100 is. It's not package sending. It is relationship building. It is value adding. It is how can I align with this massive influencer's purposes, where if all they did was said my name, it would sell more of my products. Okay? That's all the Dream 100 is. And people go look at this convoluted area like, I got to be in the game of package sending. That's a method. Not Dream 100 itself. That's a method. And I do that. In fact, I'm not even going to show you my office right now, man. When I'm preparing for Funnel Hacking Live speeches or speeches in general, my office gets wrecked. There's like crap all over the floor. But I have boxes to the ceiling of Dream 100 packages and paraphernalia that I send out to them, right? One of them, actually, you guys mind if I grab? Dang it, it's sealed up. I got a box of foot-long, it's a fish that's a foot long, and I wrap it up and I send it out to people, and I'm like, this is an invitation to you to fish slap the crap out of the old ways that people are doing things in your industry. It's like super aggressive, but it works, right? It's little funny stuff like that. They don't need to be expensive. They don't need to be crazy. Anyway, but you understand, I'm showing a little personality. I'm helping them know that I'm not willing to back down, and it's not a game of package sending. Okay, that's like the biggest misunderstanding of the Dream 100. So with that intro, can we walk through this? Here we go. That's part of, do you ever still get starstruck seeing Russell in the office? I was mute for like the first 4 months because I was sitting there and my screens were reflecting. We sat back to back and he had 3 screens. I don't know how he does 3 monitors. I can only handle 2. I had 2 monitors. He had 3 there. And on my left one, his face reflected perfectly off of that monitor into his face. So I felt like he's always looking at me. So I didn't say it. I was like, this is Russell Brunson. Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Just keep building funnels. Don't tell him you almost put a poster of him up on your wall in college because he's totally your hero. Don't tell me you almost put a poster of him up. Don't tell me like I was a huge fanboy already, man. Like anyway, it was nuts. It was so yeah. It was crazy. I could barely handle it. It took me forever just to talk. And anyway, so now I try to just wrestle him, and we wrestled at the last 10X event, and he totally bruised me up. I got bruises up my sides right now. I keep telling him I'm gonna choke him out one day. Anyway, hey, let's move into this. Sorry, here we go. Hey, so the Dream 100 is you guys are gonna learn today from Russell what the Dream 100 really came from. And what I want to do is just kind of teach you some of the methods that I've used to use the Dream 100 easily. And I just taught you one of the biggest ways, and the principle that I hope you hear is overarching with this whole thing. Just add value. Okay, do it without waiting for permission. They're not going to give it to you. And it's not that they don't care. They have different motives than a customer does. Okay, a Dream 100, an influencer, is motivated differently than one of your customers is. Please hear what I just said. Okay, when someone reaches out to me and they say, Steven, I've got this great opportunity for you, I'm like, I don't even want to hear it, number one, because I have tons of opportunities. What, right? You're not giving me anything different. Right? Second of all, if it's still an idea, ideas are worthless. An idea is not an asset. Every time someone comes to me and they're like, Steven, I got this idea. What if we went and we built this thing and then you give me 50% of it? And I say, wait a second. Why don't I just take your idea and build it and take 100%? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to understand, like, if your thing is still an idea and it's untested and you go and you approach somebody who's an influencer and you're like, we could do this thing together. They're not thinking, thank heavens for another opportunity. I've been waiting for one. No, they've got opportunities coming out of their butt. Okay, they have so many opportunities. Okay, it's actually the opposite problem. They are trying to just narrow their focus and stay focused. Okay, you have no unique advantage by having an idea. Ideas are worthless. Ideas are nothing. It's the same thing you see on Shark Tank even. Shark Tank, while I don't believe you need any VC funding ever, right? For most things, like 99% of most businesses, you don't need funding. If you're gonna build like a stadium or a factory, all right, you might need to get a little funding, okay? But what we're teaching here, you don't need funding. Okay, so anyways, regardless of that, Shark Tank, people walk on in and they say, this is the right, this is the business and this is the product, and they hand out the prototypes and they go and then they ask the dreaded question, tell us about your numbers. And then somebody says, well, we haven't actually started selling it yet, but we've got these cool prototypes and people have said they're really excited about it. Okay, not interesting to an influencer. If you're like, I still have an idea, like, yeah, you haven't done anything. The idea is worthless. The idea is zero asset. There's no value to it at all. What's keeping me from just doing it? Okay, what's valuable to an influencer, if you want to partner with them, like, I wouldn't go straight to the partner level with an influencer. I would go to the, how can I add value to you and create a relationship, right? And then just get you on my podcast. Ooh, one of the reasons that I tell you to do it. Okay, everyone answers your calls when you have a podcast. I get on every week with people who are just starting their shows. Why? Why wouldn't I? It's a podcast, right? It's a show. I don't care if they're just starting. That's the point. Freaking publish. Have some publication. So when you walk out to them and you say, hey, I'd love to be able to increase your status in front of your own audience by interviewing you on my podcast. That's not what you're going to say, but that's what's happening. And they're going to turn around and go, all right. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. Right? I've never had anybody turn me down ever. Even when I was just starting out and no one knew who I was. Okay? Well, seriously. A podcast or a show, publication in general, people answer your calls. Start one. You don't even have to do the talking. I just did one with a guy. He's awesome, but he wasn't that good of an interviewer. I don't care. He's got a show. Right? That's spreading my brand, right? That's exactly the point. When you approach a Dream 100 person, a big influencer, what you need to do is understand that it's a game of increasing statuses, not in a negative or chauvinistic way. It's a game of increasing statuses. How can I make that person look like even more of a rock star in front of their following that they've worked so hard to create? I could get them on my show. I could tell them that when I do the show, or I could tell them, you know what, I'm about to send ads to their page. Can I get an affiliate link, right? Oh my gosh, I know who's promoting my stuff because they're promoting my stuff, right? That's a massive value increase. The thing that is the worst to approach an influencer with is when you walk into an influencer and you go, hey, how's it going, Russell Brunson? Will you promote my thing? Oh my gosh, any other sick, disgusting noises I can make. That screams neediness. That screams you haven't actually been successful with even getting one sale. That screams I'll never do anything with you in the future. Okay? When you're going to a Dream 100 individual, somebody with a lot of status, you do not go to them and say, would you promote my thing? Without creating any relationship. They care about relationships at that level, right? Their circle of those they trust gets smaller the bigger they get. You guys hear that? And it's not on purpose. It's a natural thing that happens. They can't actually trust as many people anymore. And it's not because they want to. It's because they feel like a lot of people just want to use them. Right? That's a hard place to start to get into. Right? That's something Arsenal and I've had active conversations about, and I've started feeling. Right? I was like, dude, like the world is getting small. And he goes, no. And I said, how do you handle this? And he goes, very carefully. That's the answer, right? So understand, like, when you go to these people and all you have is an idea, you haven't actually done anything yet, right? And you walk up and you're like, please promote my thing. It's nothing but negative noise in their head, okay? Very few people straight out just agree to promote, okay? What I want to give you guys is a few cool things and ways and strategies that you can approach big, massive influencers with. That's the point of today's thing. So I've laid a lot of groundwork here with you so you understand this. But it's because most of the time when I say the phrase Dream 100, two things happen. Everyone's like, oh, I've sent packages. I'm like, no, it's not about packages. And the other thing people do is they go, ugh, Dream 100, I've heard this. Yeah, but are you doing it? You know how much money people make from the Dream 100 when you do it right? Okay, I'm trying to tell you what it isn't. So when you see what it is, you're not like, oh, I could just send crap to people and then they'll promote my thing. No. I've had so many people just find my business address, buy me something on Amazon and ship it over. And then they're like, but I sent you that thing. How come we can't get on a 15-minute phone call? And I'm like, what? You didn't buy my time with your trinket that you got from Amazon. Like, what are you talking about? Right? I've had some people actually get mad over that. There's a few very clever ones I've gotten actually, which has been really cool. Anyway, but adding value, like when I'm in my own group and I'm going in and I'm chatting and I see these people adding value, then when they send something, like, you see what I'm saying? Like that thing on my ceiling, the bunny rabbit, I call myself the original Energizer Bunny. I ran out of wall space, so I put my favorite quotes on the ceiling. Right? The Energizer Bunny thing, that was sent to me by somebody in my audience. I know his name. I know what he does. I know exactly who he is because it's awesome. It's awesome. It's unique. He adds value to my thing all the time. You see what I'm saying? You got to approach these people that way. They are not motivated the same way a customer is motivated. A customer just wants to solve a problem. An influencer, they just want to further their cause. They just want to, not that they want to increase their status, okay, but they want to increase their reach with their own audience. Help them, enable them to do that, and you will find a friend quickly. Okay? It's so funny. It's just relationship building. People are like, but how do I build the relationship? And I'm like, the same way you would any friendship. They're like, but how do I do that? I was like, have you ever made a friend? Like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, just do that. Right? That's it. That's the big secret, the Dream 100. All right. Thank you, Mildred. Appreciate that. All right. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I just, if I say things too softly, I feel like people don't hear the lesson. If I'm like, no, right? Then they're like, oh, this is different. I'm like, anyway. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen here. Someone was asking what the app was I use to draw things. It's literally the Paintbrush app that comes natively on Macs. All right, here we go. Yeah, someone just said to be a real person. Exactly. Just, yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. All right, let me pull up chat here so we can all see it here, and then I'm just gonna draw a few things. Be cool to have one. You know, like those sketch pads that link with your computer. I should totally get one of those. That'd be really cool. I stalked Julie at funnel hacking last year without knowing about the Dream 100. Poor thing, she thought I was mad with my gift from the UK. Right? Isn't that funny? Like, it's not about the gift, it's about adding value, creating a relationship. Totally get it. I've had a few people reach out. They act really chauvinistic with me. They act really like expectant. Like, Steven, but I sent these things to you. Like, you're supposed to go in and promote my thing now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No, it's not a hard, fast rule, and it's not about packages. All right, anyway. Yeah, just be a real person. 100%. Absolutely, Sarah Lynn. Definitely. So I had to get my mom to introduce me, like, in grade school. Isn't it easier to do Facebook ads if you're scared to just approach the Dream 100? Julian, you actually bring up a great point. Okay, so check this out. So I like these 4, and this is one of the reasons we do Dream 100 stuff in general, right? Let's say that let me just draw another principle here for you guys, and then I'll dive into something else here. And then I'm gonna give you an example of something that I've actually sent. I have a letter that I send to a lot of people that got like 36 out of my 100 to respond in like a week. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys that. What? Okay, that's where I'm going with it. It's so cool, but it follows the same principles I'm teaching right here. Okay, so let's say though that this traffic sort, this color is Dream 100. Let's say that this traffic color. Okay, now actually, let me just draw it first. Okay, the Dream 100 works kind of like this. If this is revenue, this is the reason we do what we do on these things. Okay, let's say this is time, and this is money, revenue, specifically revenue. Okay, the Dream 100. A lot of times it takes a while to create some relationships. Like, it's not a way to. You don't make a ton of money with it immediately because you're creating the relationships, and then bam, big spike in cash, right? And then nothing for a little while, and then someone else drops your name, bam, huge spike in cash, right? And that's kind of how Dream 100 acts. Okay, let's say content. Let's go with blue because blue is cool, and blue looks like cool. Okay, content. Content. What I've noticed is that my revenue as I promote my content is very slow, but it's increasing over time, right? That's why it's this long-term asset that as I put into, right? I'll put in an episode, and in one shot, one episode is getting heard by more people than the first 2 funnel hacking lives. You see what I'm saying? It's like a lot of power that you start to wield as a content provider over time. If you just put your head down, stop looking at the clock, you develop an actual asset, and then you put call to actions in those episodes that push to whatever funnel you're building, right? So that's why I push the content thing so much. If I'm looking like at affiliates, let's do affiliates as red. Affiliates are different than Dream 100, right? An affiliate doesn't necessarily have a big following. They just want to promote their link and get commissions for it. Right? They're seeking to promote. A Dream 100 is not always seeking to promote. They already typically are successful to some degree, and they already have a following. Affiliates don't. Affiliates a lot of times don't have much of a following. They're just promoting because that's their business, which is great. Okay, and all they want is just a link to send traffic to. Okay, so they're different motivations. Usually, what I find from affiliates is that it's kind of like small little wins like this. Sometimes it'll outdo what my content is. Sometimes if you like hit the lottery, it'll outdo what these other Dream 100 people will do. But it's not like, that's usually what it is, like these little spurts of cash as I do contests and as I do giveaways to my affiliates. Whoever promotes the next, for this month, they're going to get, you know, a new iMac, you know, which is what we do, right? And we're like, hey, and so these little spurts of traffic will come from them. The third way, though, is ads. And what's cool about ads is... Let me choose a different color here. What's cool about ads, and this is to answer your question. What's neat about ads is the one thing that I can control, that I have a little bit more say. Okay, so with ads, what I notice is that usually there's not a lot of money at first as we're starting to test ads, but it has the capacity to grow and even increase past what my content is. It literally increases my speed, right? I get more money for the amount of time sometimes that I put in. So like, they all work together. And expecting that they behave in revenue behavior the same, it's not true. That's not what I've found anyway as I do this stuff, okay? So that, hopefully that makes sense. A Dream 100 list is started in notes. How can people be so entitled? Also remember that a lot of influencers get paid to promote stuff So being authentic is the best way to go if you don't have money. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly, Sarah Lynn. Like they're either getting paid by companies to name drop their stuff, like, hey, this episode's brought to you by such and such, right? And they're getting paid money to do that. Some of them are that way. Some of them are like, I just promote my own stuff. Why would I take my focus off my own thing and make more money, right? So it's about a relationship at that point. Your leverage is not always so much about the product, or hey, I'll give you 50%, or I'll give you 70%, or whatever, right? It's not. That's why that's not always that appealing to them. They're already in motion. They're already in momentum, right? They got wheels behind them already. Okay, so the Dream 100. So here's what I want you to understand is like, if you think about hopefully that clarified a little bit of it. So with the Dream 100, like, let's say that this represents your level of influence starting out. It's very small. No one really knows who you are yet. That's okay, right? But you just don't have a lot of influence. Like, you think about like Warren Buffett. He speaks and the stock market moves, right? I mean, that's like a lot of influence. That is insane, right? None of us have, most of us, I would assume, unless you have that level of influence right now, please let me know. That's awesome. Okay. But most of us do not have that level of influence. In fact, he's probably one of the only people, right? He's part of that very small group of people that can say that kind of thing. But if that's us, we're just starting out, very small amount of influence, then there's somebody who's got a little bit more influence than you do. Okay. This is the strategy. I'm going to teach you guys a strategy that I kind of came up with and used to not just launch my podcast, but I used to get inside of these really high level places. Okay. And so this is how I did it, literally. Okay. Then there's people who are a little bit more influential than them, right? And such and so forth. And a little more than them, a little more than them. And when they speak, more and more and more influence is popped out, right? And more people hear easily because they're already tuned in. It takes time, energy, right? Even a little money to create a following, right? Why not just leverage the followings of other people? Okay, so let's think about this. If this is you, right? You're like right here at this level, right? And then let's say you keep going, or let's say it's me or you, right? And then let's say Russell Brunson, right? He's a few levels up here, right? And then let's say like Tony Robbins, maybe a little more influence than Russell, right? Then let's say the Pope. Okay. And then who's at the very top? Who's at the very, very top? Okay, to go past all religious and political debate, we're gonna say Batman. Hey, Batman. Okay. Batman's at the top. Look how much influence he's got. Oh my gosh, when he speaks, everything changes. Okay, I love that part, and I can't remember what movie that is. What's your superpower? And he goes, I'm rich. Anyway, all right. Okay, what you have to understand is like, there are different tiers of influencers. So when I'm going and I'm approaching these people, one of the reasons why Russell was the only guy is because I didn't know this, but I had chosen what I call an A-level influencer. A-level influencers are hard to reach. They're A-level. Okay, they're at the top of the game. They're tier number 1. They're at the top. Okay, they're hard to hit and actually go get. So if I have like a, so I think about like whoever is directly. So this is my phrase, okay? I reach 2 levels up. So what I started doing, and what we're going to go have you guys do, and the whole point of today's challenge, you're going to go write a list of Dream 100, okay? Try and come up with 100 people who are big in the Facebook platform. I recommend going for people who are already publishing, okay, in your industry. Because if they're already publishing, it means they have a following and distribution. That's what you want. If they already have distribution and then they go name drop you, especially like if they're publishing, they got a podcast, they're always looking for content, right? If you go in and do a cool thing with them, it's likely that they're going to drop your thing to their distribution channel, right? Depending on how big they are. Okay, but I'm going to reach 2 levels up at all time. So this was me starting out, right here down at the bottom. Well, there's somebody with a little bit more influence, and then there's somebody with a little more influence than me, a little more influence than them, right? And so what I do is I think like, okay, here are C-level influencers. Let's say that there's another level in between right here. Oops. Hopefully this is helpful. This is just like the gaps that I've seen with Dream 100 stuff that people are like, they kind of struggle with. Okay, here we go. I should have drawn more levels. Doesn't make sense to have Russell that so low. So anyway, okay, check this out. So what I do is, let's say Russell is an A-level influencer because he clearly is in this space, obviously. Okay, so he's an A-level influencer, right? Then we have B, and B is like right there in that middle run right there, and then like C. So what I do is I reach 2 levels up at all times. So 1, 2. So I'm going to go and I'm going to try and get as many C-level influencers on my podcast as I possibly can. I'm scratching their back, okay? I'm scratching their back, but they have more influence than I do, right? They got all these pockets over here than I have. When I get a lot of C-level people who are starting to know who I am and know my products and they're excited about it, I'm going to reach 2 levels up. When I feel that I myself have leveled up, I've gone up a level in influence, I'm going to reach 2 levels up and start going for B-level people. Okay? Literally, this is what I did. Okay? When I felt myself become a C-level influencer, that's when I started getting guys like Russell on my show. Okay? Which is what I did. Okay? I will not go backwards. Okay, so I'm not going to go get a C level anymore. And it's nothing personal. It just doesn't help the brand that I've built. It doesn't help the products that I've built. Okay, so I reach 2 levels up, but I don't go down. So now I'm only going with Russell-styled, Russell-esque big people in the industry that I'm going, right? My red ocean market, my competition. Okay. And so I go piece by piece by piece by piece all the way up, and that's how I do it. That's exactly what's happened. This can take time, but that's okay. It's actually to my advantage. I don't have to come up with the content. It's scratching their back. It's making my podcast go further. It's going in it, right? And until I can learn to find my voice and I get comfortable with it, my people will have a reason to listen to me because they're still C-level influencers. Okay, they still have a little bit of sway, a little bit of stature already, which is great. Right? They speak and some people are still already hearing them. Okay, that's exactly what I did. So the same is true when I'm launching the podcast as it is when I'm starting to put products together. I'm going to go in and start going to C-level influencers. So what I recommend you do is that if this represents your Dream 100 right here, right? You got all these people that you're going to go put on your Dream 100 list, right? Tons and tons and tons of them all over the place. Let's say this is 100 little slashes, okay? So we got 100 slashes all over the place. What I recommend that you do is make like half of them C-level people. Okay? You're gonna get way more C-level than you are A. Right? Then make fewer of them B, and then make a small level of them at the top, make them A. You see what I'm saying? I didn't draw that correct, but you see what I'm saying? Okay. That way you go, and what you do is you have all these C-level influencers who are starting to agree to do stuff with you. Then you go to B, and you say, look at all these C people who've said that I can promote with them. Do you want to do it also? You got all these testimonials now of successful people who've promoted your thing. Right? Then I can go in and get more B. Then I leverage that into A. Okay? And Ryan Holiday calls this trading up the chain. He does it with content, but the same method is true with this. Okay, you're just going to use a lot of small to go a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and that's one of my favorite ways to do this. The Dream 100 a lot of times helps you understand where you fit in the ecosystem. Okay, because my goal, this is very important. Okay, one other little lesson here with this. My goal is this. Okay, if I'm selling health, wealth, or relationships, this is how you fit in this game. Okay, and I decided that I'm reading Expert Secrets, and I'm going to go sell wealth or health or relationships, or whatever. And I'm going to go sell people that believe, let's say, that real estate is the area that they need to be in order to create wealth. Okay. That's a big bloody red market, which is great, right? It's red. It's super red, bloody red. There's a lot of competition. I want it to be that way, okay? Because it means there are A, B, and C level influencers, okay? These people all believe right here that real estate is what will give them wealth. So I'm going to go sell into that market. What I'm going to go do is, and let's say that you have a unique way of selling real estate. And let's say that's what your business is. And so you come over here to this side. Is there a way to make this dotted? Anyway, whatever. Okay. You're going to go create, you have this new cool opportunity over here on the side. And let's say that you found a way to sell real estate over the phone and it's automated on an app, right? Let's say something just kind of super cool, cutting edge. And you're like, don't do real estate the old ways where you're going around and knocking doors and beating street and walking around. You see what I'm saying? You can do this on an iPhone app. People are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, right? That's your new opportunity, this market over here. What I'm going to go do is I'm going to, where are my influencers that I want to be talking about this? The people that are closest in belief to what I'm already selling. So this market, right? This one, this red ocean right here. The people who are already, right, where it's the shortest amount of education needed for them to buy. That's my red ocean, right? That's my market. That's where I go to sell my goods. No one exists in this new one yet. No one's there. I can't sell to anybody. Who I'm selling it to, although it's new, who I'm selling it to is back to the red. Hopefully this is not getting too deep, but this is making sense. So what I do then is inside of this is I'm going in and I'm seeing who the A-level people are. Inside the real, who the B are, right? Who the C are. Maybe I'm a few levels away here and I'm down here kind of towards the bottom still. No one knows who I am yet. That's okay. I'm relating relationships with people inside my target market so that when some C-level people are like, you know what? That Steve Larsen's got gigantic eyeballs, but that's cool. You know, he's got these awesome products here that I'm going to go, look at this, audience. Did you know he's got this? This is an option. Holy crap. They'd name drop you, and it brings a portion of red ocean over into your new opportunity. Okay, then you go and you trade up the chain. Oh my gosh, look at all these C-level people, or just one or two of them, or three, or whatever. Okay, Dream 100, 100 people. Totally realistic to only get like 7. You know what I mean? It's not a don't expect 100 people to respond. It's not the way it works. They're busy running their companies, which makes sense. Okay, then a few people are going to do that, right? Then you're getting huge portions and momentum towards your thing, and their content you created with them stays on the internet, right? It's evergreen. It continues to sell people in portions of the red ocean over into your thing over here. Okay, that's how I do that. All right, so let me stop sharing screen here real fast. And let me just pop open one last thing here. And I'm just going to read to you guys. I'll share you guys. I'll share the letter with you guys. Just understand that people don't need a new opportunity. That's not what's sexy to them. It's sexy to you because you've been looking for one. It's not sexy to them. Okay? If you're brand new, it's sexy to you. It's just not to them. They have opportunities more than they can handle. It's actually stressful a lot of times. Okay? Like, oh, wouldn't that be a nice problem to have? Yeah, say it sarcastically if you want, but it is a problem. Okay, so don't add to their problems by coming to them with I have a new opportunity. Like, that's most of the time, that's not something that's exciting for people in that area. Anyway, all right. Let's jump over, and I want to share this thing with you guys real quick. My son would agree with Batman. Nice. Nice. Batanar, that's hilarious. That's awesome, John. So Brent asked a great question. How do we identify which influencers A, B, or C? Now, there's no like metric, but one of the things that I do is I look to see how big their content is. If they have a huge following, they're more A level. It's harder to get a hold of them typically. Okay. If they have like hardly any audience, but people are still contributing, they're talking, right? There's no metric. It's something you're gonna have to feel out. Okay. And it's easiest to feel that out based on how well you understand your red market. Okay, the people actually selling to. So go learn who the influencers are. I literally would go do what we're going to tell you guys to do in today's challenge. Go and go follow what Russell's talking about. Go look and see who the big influencers are in Facebook. Go look and see who the big influencers are in your category, right? Not in general. In your market, who you want to sell to. Go look and see who the huge influencers are. Like, I would go take the name of your market, real estate, right? For that example. Go put it in iTunes. And you're going to see tons of ranked by iTunes podcasts. The big ones with the most downloads. Those are probably the A people, right? Most of the time, someone lives in this game the longest when they become content producers, which is one of the reasons I target them a lot of times for Dream 100 people. They're the easiest to find a lot of times. Take my money. This is brilliant. Thanks. Appreciate it. But you're not basically crushing their market because they promote your product that's against their ocean. Groovin, good question. So the whole purpose is my product needs to be complementary, not competitive. Okay, they're not gonna promote something that takes away their own audience, right? So that phrase is something I keep in my mind a lot when I'm trying to come up with Dream 100 campaigns. How can I be complementary to this person's intent and motion that's already moving? How can it be complementary to their purposes and not competitive? Right? The name of the game with making a new opportunity is to be different, not better. Okay, it's the reason why you don't need to have these massive expertise and be an expert and have all these credentials to make a lot of money on the internet. The goal is to be different, not better with your product. That way when you go to them, it's different. If it's better than what? Better than what they've got. It's competitive. So I'm always trying to be different, not better. How would I do what they're doing different? That way when they look at it, it's like, oh, that's so cool. And it doesn't take away from what I'm talking about, right? That's how you do that. Okay. Let me read this letter real quick here. I'm not trying to make this be this like the session that never end, but this is good crap. All right, let me share my screen and check this out. Now I wrote this as a like a. This is only when I had 2 kids. I wrote this as a campaign. So I sell my Dream 100 list the same way I would sell a customer, right? I'm the product that I'm selling, not my actual product. This is how I position my Dream 100 stuff. What I know is true, right? Is that they're not motivated the same way as a customer. I can't use the script that I wrote for customers and expect it to 100% work for a Dream 100. So I write a separate webinar. I don't do a webinar. But I write a script and I drip it out to them. I drip pieces of out to them throughout. And this is how I got like 37 of my 100 to respond in a week. Is insane. Okay. So the beginning of any script, this is what we had you guys go through, is an origin story, right? How did you get into the thing that you're doing? Okay. And so when I'm going in, right. So the first thing what I did is I sent them is this stupid, cheap little plastic microphone. And I don't care if they think I'm a cheesy guy. I am. I'm a goofball. I'm a kid at heart. I will be till I die. Whatever. Okay. I don't care. I'd rather be authentic and real than trying to be fake and like all professional and crap. Okay. If you are, that's great. It's just not my style. Okay. Listen to music as much as possible or wear shoes as little as possible. And I try to spend as much time as I can on a longboard. Okay. It's just my thing. So, okay. So on here, I send them, right? Letters get stopped by the gatekeeper. Most of the time, packages get past the gatekeeper. So if they have secretaries, they've got all these people, right, that are packages usually make it past. I made a mistake once and I was trying to help Russell out and I opened up all of his packages for that day because he gets them pretty much every day. And I learned very quickly to never do that again. Right? He was frustrated. A lot of big influencers, man, it's like Christmas every day, man. A lot of them, they like the packages. They just don't want to read endless envelopes. So I don't send letters without something in it. So I make a lumpy package. We call it a lumpy package. So I'm going to make a lumpy package. So in it, I had this cheesy, stupid little toy microphone, and it was wrapped in this bright, nasty blue fluorescent package. And this letter was trifolded. It was folded up like a business letter with this microphone. And then I put it in this envelope that was plastic. That was all. It was an eyesore. It was supposed to be. Okay. And I sent it out to him like that so it would get past the gatekeeper, which it did. Okay. And I sent it out to, I think I only had 87 people on my Dream 100 list, but I sent it out to 87 people, and this is the first letter that I opened with. I'm not going to go read all of them, okay, but I'll just show you guys this one, okay? So I want you to see the style. You'll notice I don't promote anything, but I created a relationship, and I had actual physical letters written back that were like, that was some of the most brilliant marketing I've ever seen. Thank you so much. That was so cool. I'm excited to see what you send next. And I was like, what? No way. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, right? The #1 podcasters in my space reached back out to me, right? This is like 2 years ago that I did this. Wait, this is a year and a half ago. Crazy. Anyway, I said, hey, this guy's name was Jonathan. Can't believe I'm writing this. I'm Steven. This is totally from left field. Just wanted to pick up the mic. Get it? Haha, cheesy knee slapper. I don't care. I'm just trying to drop false beliefs quickly. And say that your success is inspiring. Please know that my thanks is very sincere. I hope to shake your hands one day because giants like you kept me going 4 years ago. This was for an MLM thing I was doing. Okay, my first month in MLM 4 years ago was a bit of a disaster, but the flip side calls that an education. Ha! At the start of college, we were in college, newly married, a new city, no jobs, dead broke. I could not provide for my new bride, which greatly challenged my sense of manhood. To top it off, my wife started staying in bed all day for weeks. I finally got her to confess to me she'd only been eating one meal a day so that I could eat. and have energy in classes. Holy insert expletive. Lost. I clamored for some way to just make sure I could eat, much less stay in our overpriced apartment. In a flurry of desperation, I found out student loans were around the corner but not available for 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm going to die in a week, right, was my dominant thought. Humbled, lost, beaten. I decided to call my dad, begging for an advance of money, which I'd pay back when the student loans came in. I'm just following the Epiphany Bridge script. That's it. Don't make it complicated. I'm not a professional copywriter, but I am because of that script. See what I'm saying? Follow the script. In a locked room, I asked him, long pause, son, no, if I give you this, you may not exhaust the resources you didn't know you had. His exact words, very wise. We both cried. Yet the fire in my gut to make it happen was insane and gave me a huge edge. I don't really know how we made it through those weeks, but like a sprinter gasping for a single breath, I started trying to make money in any way I could think of in 3 to 6 month rotations. I tried everything, stocks, options, real estate, 2 summers of door-to-door, telemarketing, ebooks, freelance website building, diamonds, yep, that's a crazy one, smartphone insurance, affiliate marketing, internet traffic driving for Paul Mitchell schools. Study, try it, repeat. The pro, I was learning far more than anyone else in my actual marketing degree. The con, a little money came in here and there, but nothing big. Crap. Then one day a buddy called and asked me, dude, this guy's gonna help us make a bunch of money. And he three-wayed me in, and you know the pitch. Reluctantly and pushed, I joined that MLM at the pleading of my buddy and finding that my wife was pregnant. I was pumped to have a kid, but terrified of how to pay the cost. Still broke. Ugh, MLM. If I'm gonna do this crap, I'm gonna tear after it. This was my honest thought. So I literally went door to door on Main Street for first 5 weeks. I recruited 13 people, and they did nothing. I was constantly distracted in all of life because all I could do was think of, holy crap, how do these big guys make it in this MLM industry and make money? That became my pure obsession. Again, I hit the books, courses, podcasts in order to simply live. I joined the Army in college, but I got in trouble for sneaking finance books in a lot and selling other soldiers on my MLM. None of them actually joined after all. 6 months later, I was back at home. Yet again, it was 2 a.m., class in 5 hours. I started reading an MLM ebook, as was routine at this point. How do I vet out people who aren't willing to hustle? How do I get people to come to me? How do I change my bait? Then it happened. Like a ray of light in a dark room, a single idea hit me in the eyes, between the eyes. It was the one concept that changed my life and my family's, a concept that gave me the fuel and ammo to figure this last piece out, the missing link. I barely slept that night. That was 3.5 years ago. Well, 4.5 now. Anyway, sorry to talk so much. Glad I said no to my dad. Just want to say thank you. Say hi and mention how I truly respect for what you've accomplished and the real inspiration you probably didn't know you've been. Looking forward to that handshake, Steven. No pitch. No, please promote my crap. None of that junk. Okay? I just told them an origin story that's gripping. What do they want, though? The next part of the story. What was the thing? What was that thing? The missing link. What is it, Steven? Oh my gosh, right? And all I'm doing is I'm writing a script. It's a sideways webinar, guys. Here's my origin story. The next month I sent out the story that's attached to secret number 1. The next month it was attached to secret number 2, secret number 3. Then number 5 was the pitch. I'd love to have you on the podcast. I'd love to have you promote this thing, right? The people are like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Let's get on your show, right? Relationship. Okay. Again, like I was saying on that revenue thing, takes a little more time. Massively brilliant. Like this has been amazing. Next, and it's just all continuations of the same story. The little Seinfeld stories, they're little cliffhangers. It's a soap opera, right? Start with drama, end with drama, but you're like, oh, what do I need to have? I got tons of people who reach back out. All I'm trying to do is help you guys see ways to pull this game off so you don't feel like you got to be annoying, right? And I'm trying to show you ways so that you're not, right? And it's actually showing it's showing you, right? Showing you for who you are. All right. Grant Cronin's assistant reached out to me and asked me to be on his podcast because of an email campaign I had him on providing mucho value. But I got scared and didn't go on the show. Now I'm going to reach back out to her. Dude, yes. Okay, yes, reach back out, okay? It's 100% doing that. Congrats. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. It's an emotional story. Someone said, dude, get your face out of there. Oh, get your face out there. Yeah, I do, right? I'm going in. It's funny, man. My wife and I, we were down here. I hand signed every letter. I studied about each one of these people to know what they're promoting, and I hand wrote, hey, hope such and such product has been going well for you. Right? I'm letting them know that like it can't feel like it's blast marketing like all over the place. It's got to feel very specific and individual. Okay. Anyway, it's good stuff. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's thing. This has been this is some good stuff. You guys who are still on this challenge with me, I'm allowed to go a little bit deeper on some topics and stuff. Don't get stressed out. buy it. Just know that they exist, right? I'm just trying to bathe you. Just keep focused on the stuff that you're doing, right? And just know that these things exist, right? Again, so big, massive surprise for you right here. We are doing a contest. Like the OFAreview.com is part of the contest, okay? But there's another contest that we just barely started. Let me make sure I got the right link for you guys, and I'll type it in right here. OFA. Anyways, what we're doing is we're going to be doing a whole bunch of like giveaways. Like Russell's doing a contest like for $1,000 for Funnel Hacking Live tickets for, right? And we want to include you guys in this contest, okay? So here's how you do it. If you guys go to onefunnelaway.com/unboxing, okay? onefunnelaway.com/unboxing. We thought it'd be cool for you guys to, boom, there it is. Let me just click on it, make sure it goes to the right spot. Yeah, okay. It's a video with yours truly. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's a contest. What we want you to do is just film yourself unboxing, like opening up the box, right? And then all you do is you're just gonna post that video on Facebook, and then just drop in the link for your for the post, and we put you in this contest, okay? Now, that seems like a lot. The benefit of that is if you actually do it, like, the chances of winning are really high. So go in. Anyway, the rules are there. Go to onefunnelaway.com/unboxing. If you guys already have, if you've already unboxed it, just box it back up and make it really exciting, okay? No one will know, okay? That's what I would do. And then if you already have, like, Funnel Hacking Live tickets, things like that, and you end up drawing, they'll just refund you or whatever. I know they'll make it good. So anyways, just know that we're doing that for you guys. I'll keep telling you guys about that. And then I think, is it Friday? I'll be bringing one or two of you guys on, and we'll be walking through, I'm going to walk through your guys' funnel. So make sure it's done, okay? That's the caveat, okay? So if you want to be entered into that, all you do is go to OFAreview.com. And you said someone hasn't gotten your box yet. If you haven't gotten your box yet, that's okay. They're shipping them out right now. They're putting cool stickers on them that say, so some of you guys have gotten, some of you guys like, anyway, I think something with like the shipping stuff. Anyways, they're on their way. They're getting out to you. And just know that this is something that we're going to be doing constantly. So if you're like, I'm going to miss it, you're not going to miss it. Just put it out there and you'll be entered into the drawing. So, which is awesome. So, or the contest. It's not really a drawing. It's a contest. So anyway, stuff for how to win that again is onefunnelaway.com/unboxing. And then if you, again, if you want to get on with me, make sure your funnel's done. But go to OFAreview.com, which apparently isn't working right now. And then drop in your story. And I'm having my guys. What in the actual? Anyway. Post your story and tag me in it, and we will get you guys on. We're going to keep doing all the calls at 11 o'clock the rest of this week, Mountain Time, meaning same time that happened today, wherever you are in the world. All right, guys, we'll see you guys later. See you on the next thing, and we'll see. Go watch Russell's thing and do the actual start brainstorming the Dream 100. Just let your brain hit this for the first time. Bye, guys.